Hey, let me show you this amazing tool for analyzing your flight tracks after you've had your flight, so that you can get the best out of your flying. You can analyze things and you can learn from your flying with others. So here we are at the Dragon Hike and Fly Race 2020. We're starting and off we go. So when you send an Ayvri link, you get a big screen like this. Maximize it, full screen, bottom left, bottom right corner, and then you can control the speed, bottom left. So I can slow things down if it's running away from me, and I can speed things up if it's frankly quite boring. So you want to skip along through the ground sections and get up onto the mountains and see what happens with the flying. At any point you can pause it, and then it does this beautiful slow pan around. I've got to say, this Ayvri interface is just beautiful. I haven't seen anything quite like it. It's streets ahead of Google Earth or any other kind of replays that you get. It's just beautifully done. You're always in this kind of helicopter position where you can see the person. Now, I'm the focus of attention here, but you can change that. Upright, if you click on the little people icon, you can jump to somebody else and make them the center of attention, so that when you play, it's going to follow them. This is very useful if you're wanting to look at different areas in the course and you're wanting to move away from where you seem to be locked on, which is your center of attention person. You can also turn some of these people off. If you find that there are too many tracks and it's getting too distracting, you can turn a whole bunch off and just come back to, where am I? There, come back to your center of attention, and you've now got fewer tracks cluttering the screen. That'll help if you're trying to compare performances with other pilots that were nearby. And you can turn off the tracks themselves, so you just have a little ghost trail that makes it less cluttered. But I find the tracks very useful because when you're comparing with other pilots, particularly if you come after them, you can see where they went and what your line was like compared to the other pilots. Up top right, you're going to have your speed, which is on the person that you focused on. So if we switch over to Daniel, we'll get a little bit more speed. He's fast up the hills, he is, Daniel. And then if you want to drop down some stats, you can get some more stats on Daniel: altitude, glide ratio, climb rate, distance, and the local time. I don't find them that useful. I like to keep the speed up. That seems to be the most important one. You can see everything else visually. And if you want to have that little curtain trail, you need to have your pilot selected as the center of attention. So here you can see Daniel scudding along just underneath the hill, and I've flicked over the back to land, to walk up to the next turn point. The way I use Ayvri to analyze things is I'll take a crux point like this where pilots were climbing out from the hill. So this is the first turn point, and I would then watch to see what the other pilots do. So you can zoom out to give yourself a better overview, but remember that center of attention is going to drag you away from the sight, so you might want to come and get one of the pilots that was slightly later on that same spot. Let's take Dan. That gives you just a little bit more time to view tracks coming off this hill. So I would sit here spying on them from my height, and I would try and work out now, what did the other pilots do differently here that I didn't do, and how did they get past me, the dogs. So it's great to watch all the other tracks and get that track log information. And at the bottom here, you've got an altitude trace. So you can flick to the high points to see those are usually sort of decision points that have made a critical difference in the flight. And you can see where the pilots went from that spot. And then again, I'm getting to another crux point, which is a hill where we all try to climb off. And I could just sit here and watch what happens when I get there. So zip along, sit there and watch. And now I can compare to the other tracks to see what my line was like, what the other pilot's line was like, and which one was more successful. So I'm here, and you can see Dan way down there. So immediately I can tell, should have gone off to the left to run the ridge. So it's a great way to replay everything, and you can go through the day and experience the day from the beginning again with another pilot, speed it up, and you can live the day in somebody else's shoes, maybe the winner, maybe somebody that was nearby you or past you, and you can build up a picture of what you should have done, what you could have done, what was possible, and how to fly in this kind of an area. To get your own track onto Ayvri, if you look on your flight instrument, if you take your flight instrument and you connect it up to your computer with a cable, stick it in, it should pop up on your computer, and look in the flight track folder, and there you will find the flight track file, which should be an IGC file. Alternatively, if you don't have an instrument that does that, a very simple way to do this is to have XC-Track running on your phone. Set that on before you launch, and it will just record a track of your flight as you go through the day. And the same thing, connect your phone up with a cable, look in your folder under the app XC-Track, and you'll find the flight there. Take that file and drop it into Ayvri, where it says create your own. And that will allow you to create your own track just with yourself. At that point, when you upload it, if any of your friends have been flying at the same time, you'll be able to say show nearby pilots, and you can add them to your scene to create this group flight where you can analyze against other people. For 3 flights, it's free, 3 tracks. So for most pilots, it's an absolutely free service at the moment. It's brilliant. If you wanted to do this sort of competition analysis, you need the pro level account, and then you can take all of the track logs off whatever live tracking website you've got for the competition, convert them into GPX, and then load them up onto Ayvri, and it gives you this beautiful competition replay, which you can do over and over and over. Better get to work now. Cool. So this is the Dragon Hike and Fly 2020. I will be doing a deep dive analysis of this whole course and how the flights went down and who went where and what to learn from this sort of terrain and the tactics involved. That's all available on flywithgreg.com to members. So if you want to take your flying to the next level and learn how to get more out of your track log analysis and flying in general, come and join me. We have a lot of fun, and it'd be great to have you as a member. Otherwise, keep safe, have fun. The link to the Ayvri replay will be in the description, so you can play through this hike and fly race and get familiar with Ayvri, and then use it for your own flying to improve your tactics and your decision making. Thanks for watching, enjoy your flying, and I will see you soon. Cheers.